Hey, what's up, Design Nation? In this session, I'm going to walk you through your first moments in Sketchup and help you create this hut. After you've downloaded, installed SketchUp, and chosen your template, you'll be greeted with this screen. And you'll have this guy in the middle. Depending on your version, you might have a different person. But this guy's name is Steve, and he's just here for scale. So you have a reference to how big a person is compared to the things that you're modeling. I always delete Steve, but if you feel like you need a reference, you might want to keep him in here for a little while you start modeling. I'm going to keep him here to show you the four main tools to navigate in 3D. But because Steve is a face me component, it's going to look like you're not rotating very much. So I'm actually going to explode him, and I'll teach you more about this later, but now you can see that when we rotate, we're rotating around Steve. But anyway, this first tool that I was just using actually is called Orbit, and that will rotate your it will rotate you around a particular around your model. So you can go up or down, left or right, and you can go diagonal ways as well. This is probably what you'll use the most when you're 3D modeling. The next tool that I'm going to teach you is the pan tool. So that's this hand here, and that's just going to let you go left and right or up and down. So you're essentially keeping the same view, you're just moving left or right. Where this is actually your camera is rotating around. Your camera is staying the same here, and it's just moving left or right or up and down. The zoom tool, when you click it and you pull up, you'll zoom in. You pull down, you'll zoom out, and that's really helpful as well. And then this tool here is zoom extents. If you're lost in your model, if you click that, it'll zoom to capture everything that's in your model. So let's say I had a rectangle all the way out here, and I was stuck on Steve, and I was like, well, what's going on here? I want to edit Steve, but I'm trying to find that rectangle that I drew. Where is it? You can hit zoom extents, and you'll see everything that you've modeled. What's important to realize too is that coming up here and clicking is not going to be very efficient. Every time, all of these tools either do or can have shortcuts. So you want to try to utilize shortcuts as much as possible because it will make your life so much easier. And when you're starting out with a new program, you want everything to be easier, and you want to develop good habits. So using shortcuts is the way to go. Even though it might at first seem really easy to just click on things, you'll be way more efficient in the long run if you use shortcuts. So the shortcut for Orbit is actually, if you have a 3-mouse setup, if you hold down the middle mouse button, your mouse wheel, that'll help you orbit. Pan, if you hold the middle mouse button and then hold shift, that'll give you the hand to pan left and right. If you double click, that'll zoom extents, or double click on your middle mouse button, and then to zoom in and out, it's just your mouse wheel up and down. So that'll help you navigate really quickly throughout your model, and that'll help when we're modeling your little hut. So the first thing that I do when I'm opening up a new file is I go to File, Save As. This is pretty important because SketchUp has a tendency to crash or get a bug splat, and if you don't have a save, then it's not going to start creating backups. So the first thing that you want to do is make sure that you save your file. So I'm going to type this home. I'm going to call this simple home, and hit save. So now you can see up here on the left it says simplehome.skp. SKP is the extension for SketchUp. So that's that. So I just hit delete on Steve, he's gone, and now I'm ready to start modeling. So the first thing I'm going to do is hit L. You can see down here I'm going to be using short keys, but L is for the line tool. So the green axis is either the X or Y, and the red axis is the X or Y, depending on whatever you want to choose. And then the blue axis is your Z or your vertical axis. You can use the arrow keys to lock to different axes. So right now I'm holding up, and that locks to the blue axis. That's helpful when you're working in 3D, because there are times when you can get disoriented, or it looks like you're drawing a line in a particular direction, but you're actually not. So up will lock that to the blue axis, left locks to green, and right locks to red. So those are just 3 helpful shortcuts that you can use when you're modeling. So the first thing that I'm going to do is going to make a 10-foot by 10-foot box. So you can see there, I started a line, I clicked, and then I drug in the direction that I wanted to go. I typed 10 foot and hit enter. And you can see down here in the bottom length. So that's what I did. I'm going to do the same here. 10 foot. So now I have 2 corners. I'm going to show you some different tools so that you can use now. Of course, you could finish this box by drawing lines, but I'm actually going to select this line with left clicked, hit M for move, or you can use this tool here, and then I'm going to start to move this. What happens in SketchUp is that all your edges that touch, or your faces that touch, are actually joined. So you can see that when I drag this left or right, or even up, this line that is attached to it is going to go with it. So I just want to copy this line to this side. So a shortcut for that is you can hit Control when you're using Move after you've selected something, and it's going to make a copy. Alternatively, you could select this, hit Control C, or right click. Actually, you can't right click. Edit, copy, and then you could paste, and then move it. But this way that I showed you first, move and then hitting Control, is the quickest that I've found. I'm going to finish this box with another line, and you can see that this made a face. You can select the face with 1 click. 2 clicks will select all of the lines of that face, so it'll be the face and the edges. And then if you triple click, I'll show you that in a little bit, that'll select the entire entity that's connected, so that works in 3D. The next thing that I want to do is I want to extrude this up. So what I'm going to do is use the push-pull tool. That is this icon here. The shortcut is P by default. So I'm going to go up 8 feet. So I selected 8 feet there, and you can see that I have this box. So as before, 1 click selects the face, 2 clicks selects the face plus the edges, and 3 clicks selects all the attached entities. So I have this box for a house. Now what I want to do is I'm going to make a door. So I'm going to go up. You can see right along this face, you have the edges it'll snap to, the endpoints, and then in the middle it'll snap to the midpoint on any line. So that's helpful when you want to draw something that's centered. So I'm going to go up 8 foot. So I want an 8-foot door. Oh, actually, I have 8-foot ceiling. So I'm going to go up to 10. So you can see I selected this face, hit P for push-pull. I'm going to go up another 2 feet. So I'm going to hit 2 foot. And you can see that I'm up at 10 now. So when I draw my 8-foot door, I'm going to make this 3 foot wide, so 1'6" on this side, and then that doesn't look like 1'6". So what you can do to check is there's this tape measure tool, just 6 inches, so I need to go over another foot. I'm going to hit L again, 1 foot, -6. For some reason that's not working. It might be because I have this thing running. It's kind of finicky when I have my shortcuts showing. Okay, so now I have this door opening. And you can just select lines and faces and delete them if you want. But what I want to do here is actually is do something a little different. So I have this door opening, but what I actually want is for this to be a volume. Right now you can see it's just faces, so they don't have any volume. So I want these to be 7-inch walls. So I'm going to select this offset tool. I actually get these two confused, scale and offset. They look kind of similar. And I'm going to select this edge, and you can see that there's a distance. So I'm going to type 7 inches, and now I have a 7-inch wall on the outside. You can check that. And I'm going to extrude this down. So I selected it and then I'm using the push-pull tool. You can see it's saying the distance here, but you can also click a certain space or an edge, and it'll extrude to that distance. One quick tip that is helpful, I'm hitting R for the rectangle tool. Let's say I had multiple shapes like this. Maybe there's some steps or something that I want to draw in front of the house, and I want to extrude them down or up. What you can do is take this one, I'm going to say 1 inch here. If I double click on this face, it'll extrude that down. So all of the faces that I double click on after I've set my 1 increment will extrude 1 inch. So it's helpful for quickly extruding a bunch of different things at the same distance. So I have my door in here now, and I want to make an opening in the wall. So what I'm going to do is drag this. You can say it says limited to 7 inches because it's only part of a 7-inch volume. And now I have this little hut. And just for good measure, I'm actually going to make another door over here. I can make it the same way that I did last time, but a quick way to do this is because I have a square box. I'm using Control, holding that down. You can see there's a little plus sign next to my arrow key. So I'm just selecting these edges. I'm going to hit that Move command and choose this edge here. Control. And you can see that I copied this here. And what happens if you start to manipulate this, you're going to have some issues because I want this door over here. I hit Q, which is the quick command for rotate. That's also this tool here. You can see it's kind of finicky. This always sort of happens. Like, you know, I want to rotate this along this axis. However, you know, you can see it's switching between the three depending on which way I am at. But you can use the arrow keys for this. It helps. Now you can see actually that was a problem because this became a part of that face. Now when I rotate, it brings all of that stuff with it. That's something that when you first start modeling with SketchUp, it can be an issue or a problem. So what I'm going to do is delete that actually. I'm going to take this and this line actually, copy them off to the side. Then what I'm going to do is group these together, make a group. So what that did is it makes it a separate entity, so it's not sticking to this other geometry. I'm going to rotate 90 degrees. Now what I can do is explode this, and now it's sticking to this other stuff because I exploded that group of this face, and I can go back another 7 inches. What I want to do now that I have my doors in here is select. So I'm triple clicking. 1 click, 2 click, 3 clicks. I'm going to make this a group. That's so that anything else that I draw isn't going to get stuck to this, because this is what I want. I'm going to do the same thing with these steps here, just group them together. And now I want to put my door in here. So I'm going to hit R for the rectangle tool. Alternatively, if you want to draw a circle or a polygon, that's in here too. but I'm just going to draw this rectangle here, and you can see that I have this door. I'm going to extrude it in 2 inches, and now, and set it back, let's say 3 inches. So now I have this door here, but I want these doors to be exactly the same, and I may want to come back later and add details to this. So what I'm going to do is actually right click and make this a component. So I'm going to say door, call it door, and hit create. Now this is very similar to a group, so it's its own entity, but the difference is that when I make a copy of this, so when I take this and bring it over to this area where I want to have my new door, and rotate it in, when I make an edit to this, it's going to edit both of them. So let's say I want a glass door. And you can see I just drew a 10-inch line, 4 inches. Go up, and then I'm going to take this top line and copy it down, making sure that you see this blue axis is locked. So another 4 inches. And now I'm going to draw a line up, and then select this side here. Actually, you can see that because I have a line that intersects my edge here, this highlighted area is only here, which is perfect, because now I can copy this over to this edge. I don't have to worry about anything. So now I have this door, and you can see that it actually shows up over here too. To change the material of this, I'm going to select it, use this paint bucket tool. You can make your own materials, but right now I'm not going to show you how to do that. I'm just going to show you how you can use a translucent one. So I'm going to hit translucent glass gray. I'm going to just click on this, and you can see that it changed it to translucent, but for some reason I can't see through, and that is because this other side, this other face, everything didn't translate through. So what's going to be helpful here is I'm going to actually cut this face, actually copy it. I copy this face and then extrude it in. So you can see now I have an extruded face here. And this edge is actually glass too, so and I don't want that. But what I might want to do inside of this component is group this frame, and then hit edit paste in place. That's going to paste that face that I just copied, make that a group, and then move this, let's say, to the middle, and then just make sure that this centerpiece is solid again, because when I extruded, it made it glass. So I have this little house. I'm going to put a little roof on it and then call it a day. To make a roof, what I'm just going to start with is a square on top of this. I'm going to use the scale tool, so I pressed S to do that, and I can scale in this direction just by dragging, but if I hold Control, it'll scale the entire shape. So I'm just going to type, I'm just going to eyeball this, which is great, something that's really easy to do in SketchUp. And then I made this cross piece because I want to make a pitched roof. So you can see I have this shape here. Now what I want to do is select this middle line, and you can see that since I have this shape, all of these are actually going to grow with that. So when I hit M and select this line here, and make sure that I'm stuck to the blue axis, you can see that line there, and I can drag up to get my pitch. Of course, the underside isn't quite there, but I can make a group and then go into that group by double-clicking. And then what I'm trying to do is close that. Sometimes that doesn't always work. And then I'm going to extrude this down. Let's say 5.5 inches. So again, I have a little roof on top of my house. And of course, you can always come back in here and make it a little less steep. That looks a little better visually. But there you go. If you thought that this video was helpful, please like, subscribe, and share this video with your friends. And as always, happy hacking.
All right, designers, just because this episode of Designer Hacks is over doesn't mean we're leaving you out in the cold. Tony's got tons of great content available at designerhacks.com. So join Design Nation right now, and we'll see you on the next episode of Designer Hacks.